Look at Romans chapter 12, probably the most famous usage of this word, though what I have just read to you from 1 Corinthians 7 and Philippians 2 are the root word, schema. It's two usages, by the way, in the New Testament, schema, 1 Corinthians 7 and Philippians 2. Let me use for you this word in its extended form, syski, matizo. Root word, schema, syski, matizo. This broadens the use of the word. Watch it as it goes from Greek into English in Romans 12, 1 and 2. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable or your rational service. And do not be conformed to this world. There is the word syski, matizo. Our root word, schema. Right in the middle of that word, conformed. Do not be conformed, a word that means to fashion or to shape like one thing or another. It's a verb that deals with that which is changeable, that which is unstable, that which is transitory. Do not be conformed to this world. Do not fashion or figure yourself out of this world, as this world. What is this world? 1 Corinthians 7, this world's a schema. This world's just a fashion. This world's transitory. This world's just passing by. It changes like crazy. Don't try to fashion yourself like it, because the moment you try to fashion yourself like the things of this world, you'll automatically be old-fashioned. You'll automatically be out of fashion with whatever comes around the corner next. You can't survive trying to keep up in the world, keep up in the business world, keep up in the health world, keep up in the technology world, keep up in the physical world. So what's the option I have then? Just give up? Don't be conformed to this world, but here's that transition, but here's the rebuttal. Verse 2, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And the word transformed is the Greek word metamorpho, where we get the English word metamorphosis. This is where whatever is on the inside becomes the new reality on the outside. When the caterpillar metamorphosizes into a butterfly, he doesn't change into something else. He becomes what he was born to be. That's metamorphosis. What God asks you to do in Romans 12:2 is not become something you're not. That's what you're doing when you act like the world. Let me say that again. The Apostle Paul is not asking you to be something you're not. That's what you're doing when you're fashioning yourself after the world's standard. You're trying to be something you're not. You're trying to be a schema. It's just a schematic. It's not the real you. The real you has been born from above. The real you is washed and forgiven and righteous. The real you is one of the sons and daughters of God. To those of us who believe, He hath given us the authority to call ourselves the children of God. John chapter 1. For those of us who have believed on Christ, what have we done? We've believed on the one who stands outside the schema. We have claimed that He's our template, that He's our Father, that He's our brother, that He's our priest, that He's our friend. That we aren't trying to be like the schematic of the world, because we have a better schematic, we have a better form, a better figure, and we don't become Him by copycatting Him. We transform into what we're supposed to be. How? By the renewing of our mind. Look at that. And that's not go get more education. It's as our minds shift towards who Christ is, we begin to see the manifestation of who Christ is in the realities of our life. And we stop trying to fashion like this transitory world. Instead, listen to the contrast. Don't conform, but transform. Watch the contrast. Don't sunaschematizo. Don't try to be like the schematic. Schematics are transitory. They pass away. Why in the world would you try to be like that? What's cool today won't be cool tomorrow. What's in today won't be in tomorrow. What's good today won't be good tomorrow. It's the world. Instead, other side, transform metamorphosize. Not go out, change your clothes, change your diet, change your attitude, change your life, change your mind, change your world. No, that's the world. Instead, find a transformation that comes from the inside out. The only one the New Testament gives you is the transformation of the heart that happens when you realize, Paul said, He made Christ to be sin so that we could be made righteous. So let that transition become the reality of your life. Metamorphosize into what He has made you to be. Well, I want to get that going. That sounds like something I'd like to get started in my life right now, right? Yeah, how? Renew your mind. That's it. Renew your mind. As you renew your mind, here's what happens. You start to prove what is good, what is acceptable, and what is the perfect will of God.